Welcome to the Avviso Media vlog. My name's Lucy.
And I'm Stuart.
Today we're going to be talking about content and social media.
So really, one of the first things we want to address in our first vlog is the issue of content. There is loads and loads of content out there. There are people sharing links, there are people retweeting, there are people posting. When we actually look at it, I mean, very few people actually engage and read this content. So it got us thinking, why is that? And I kind of guess the first issue really is the content quality. So Lucy, wanted to ask you today, how do you create quality content?
Well, I think there's a lot of content out there at the moment, like you said, and actually a lot of the content is good quality. It's just that it doesn't get seen enough because of the way that it's presented to people through social media. But in terms of creating good quality content, I think the best thing that you can do to start with is to actually think about, is this content going to solve a problem or entertain my community or my target audience?
So the starting point really is the audience. It's who you're actually targeting.
Yeah, I mean, it always is. Who am I targeting? Who does this content serve? And how is this content going to, like I said, solve a problem or help my community or my audience?
Okay, so how should people be writing content? How do you create it?
How do you create content? Okay, well, if you haven't created any content before and you want to start creating content, what I suggest that you do is think about the question that you get asked most often by potential clients or people wanting to know what it is that you do and how your service or your product serves them or solves a problem, like I was saying before, and actually write about that. Write about what it is that you do and how that product or service works and how it can help them, or create content that is really going to help somebody to be able to do their job better. Basically, that is absolutely the best place to start. And
so one of the other aspects of content creation is, I guess, where you actually create this content. Do you create it on the actual social platform, or am I best writing it on my own website and then actually promoting that through social networks?
Okay, again, it goes back to what your goals are. The more people spend time on the native social networks, the more we have to think about producing content specifically for that social network. So instead of creating a blog post and then sharing it to Twitter and to Facebook and LinkedIn and all of these different places, why not create that content on the platform they're on so that people don't have to leave and go off to your website or go somewhere else. They can read the content on the platform they're on, but you're still building relationship with people because it's still coming from you. And actually, we don't just do business through our websites anymore. We're doing business, all over the internet,
I guess one of the things that you need to be careful of when you're posting things natively to different platforms is you have to think about the audience and the reason why they're on that particular platform at the time.
Yeah, exactly. And one of my bugbears actually is on LinkedIn, when people publish posts, but they actually just publish 2 sentences of a blog post they've already written with a link going through to their website. I almost never ever click through to their website to read that content. It actually annoys me so much that I just think, even if this content was interesting, I don't want to leave the platform that I'm on. I want to stay here, so just if you can avoid it, don't do that.
Okay, one of the questions I've got is actually about Snapchat. I find Snapchat quite a hard platform to use anyway. I think it's not very intuitive to go and find people. Okay. So how do you go about creating content for Snapchat?
Well, for Snapchat, I think one of the best things that's happened to Snapchat most recently, over the last few months, is the creation of stories, where people can look at stories publicly. Because it was all before, it was just about taking snaps and sending them personally to different people. Well, now you can see people's stories if you're following them. There is actually a way to discover people now on Snapchat. There's a thing called Snap Codes, and on Ghost Codes. On Ghost Codes, people can see your Snap code and they can kind of follow you and download your your ghost code and that kind of thing, and also give you things like kudos. But you can share your actual scan, which is like a QR code, ghost code, across all of different social networks to get people to follow you there. And if your content's good, then people are going to keep looking at your snaps, basically. Yeah. Okay,
cool. Did you think that businesses can get good value out of Snapchat?
Yeah, I mean, again, it depends how you're using it. I think you can definitely leverage influencers on Snapchat. So if there are people already influential on Snapchat, you could use them to leverage your brand as well, to get them to create stories for you.
So one of the other questions I had today, and actually it's our final question of the day, is about frequency. So I hear a lot that you have to post frequently. Isn't there a danger if you're posting for the sake of posting's sake that you're just contributing to the noise? Yeah. How much content is enough, and when is the right time to actually put it out on the various platforms? Okay,
this is going to sound really boring. Again, I'm going to say the same thing. It all goes back to the goal and the reason that you're creating the content. So actually, I don't think there can be too much sharing of content as long as there's a reason behind.
What about posting of content though? I mean, do you
mean like sharing a lot of different things on
creating your own content and just putting it out there? I mean, I see some people putting stuff out there, like every 15 minutes.
Okay, well, if your content, like I said, if your content is valuable, if it's relevant, if it solves a problem, post it. Just keep doing it. The more the better, because if you're helping people, you're helping your community, or you're making the world a better place, just do it as much as possible. But if you're creating content just because you think I've got to get something out there, I've got to be seen, I've got to get people to see what I'm doing, and the content's low, value, it's not very good quality, then it's just kind of pointless, and actually it devalues you and your brand and what you stand for. So actually, if you're going to create a lot of content, just plan it a little bit. Make sure you know what you're going to talk about and what the point in that content is. Is there a reason you're creating this content? Is it to educate? Is it to inform? Is it to entertain? Or is it just to boost your own ego? If it's to boost your own ego, most of the time it's not worth doing.